don't have to apply. There's no mandate that a college or university has to demonstrate that you actually got a job with what you learned. We sure hope everybody does, but for that's not true for community colleges, and I'm assuming Gary, it's probably true for you guys, as well. That your mandate is that the people graduating and getting training in your programs really are getting that training so they go out there. So one of the things that we know that's really critical is that we need to know, the colleges and the programs need to know, what are the critical knowledge, skills, and abilities that our employers need to know, or that they need to know from our employers in order to get hired. And that can be literally a full-time job. The fact is that our faculty in our colleges, it is really hard for them to be teaching and also trying to be able to reach out to their employers for their students. So they have advisory boards, and then we also, as the centers, really help to do that extra outreach statewide and regionally to really spend time with our employers and our other partners, our workforce or other government public agencies, to find out what is it that you all need, what's missing in the graduates that you are trying to hire. And so tell us that so that we can go back and work with our colleges and our faculty and their advisory boards and check that and look at what we need to do for maybe changing curriculum or adding. And technology has really pushed us a lot these days to try to stay up on what the new things that are happening in all of our industries. So that is part of the Centers of Excellence job. And we have 11 of them now. Our newest center is the Center for Autonomous Systems. Or drones is the easy way to.
Unmanned and autonomous systems.
And autonomous system. So of course Byron is part of that. And today we have Anita, who is with the criminal justice program here. And do you have other stuff besides criminal justice, don't you? Or just criminal justice now?
I teach a number of law courses on campus.
Okay, yeah. So, so we really work with, and for our center, Homeland Security Emergency Management, this is the best description I can do for everyone about. We have 6 career pathways and then several subsets of these career pathways that we spend time all over the state really working with the industry to learn about what their needs are and helping to make sure that we provide opportunities also for our students to work in those industries so they get hired. But so we have criminal justice, and criminal justice includes corrections and forensics and law and juvenile justice, and we're now getting into some other kinds of areas, criminal investigation. And you want to help me out here on all of our
Our program. So we are now changing curriculum and going forward with moving to what we had discussed with the Centers of Excellence about the 5 core courses. And so next week, our AAS program will change.
So, and I know, Ryan, are you on? Kelly, is Ryan?
Should be.
You're here. Hi. Ryan Leonard is the criminal justice coordinator for Big Bend. She also has several other programs that she runs out of Big Bend. She works with Byron, and she is also our center's Eastern Washington regional coordinator. And I think most everyone has met John Ufford, who is our new Southwest Washington coordinator. But Ryan led our effort to working with all of our 20 criminal justice programs for the last 3 years. And re-looking at their curriculum, coming up with a common core curriculum for all of the programs to be able to adopt. And so we're now in the process. What it means for us statewide is that a student can start in any of our colleges that offer those criminal justice programs. There will be a core curriculum that everyone takes. And if they happen to move to Seattle or to Everett or any of our other colleges, that's all transportable. They don't have to worry about going to another degree program and having to start over. So we're working on that. And Ryan, do you have any other thoughts you want to share? You're a little, can we turn her up by any chance? You hear a little more? You don't know? Oh, you can't talk.
So I'll fill people in later in the board meeting portion, but we're just continuing to work, and we have, it's been great just to work with our other faculty and to have some conversations finally with colleagues from us over the West Person Department. So the collaboration's been great, and we're thankful that the center has provided us kind of a platform and a structure to have this meeting.
So we do have cybersecurity, and there is a Center of Excellence for Information Technology, and they do the actual technology side of IT. Cybersecurity side is more along the policy and management of the security world that has more to do with people and the management of people and processes and how we create weaknesses or vulnerabilities in those. But we have several cybersecurity programs in the state of Philly. I believe Clark College just started a new cybersecurity program. Do you know? I think in Clark that they started a cyber, and you folks have, Lower Columbia also has programs that relate in IT as well. So let's see. A little bit.
I'm not sure.
So anyway, Homeland Security Emergency Management is our other area, and so we deal with security issues as well as disaster emergency and enterprise risk management. So a lot in the security field as well. So not just the public side, but the private side, which happens to now be the side that's growing. About 60% of the jobs that are for enterprise risk management or emergency disaster preparedness are in the private sector. So that's really critical for all of our organizations. And then Fire Command, which Bob just walked in and then walked out. So Bob Lord is the coordinator for our Fire Command and soon to be a BAS degree in fire leadership and management out of Pierce College. So Bob's here to talk a little bit about that today. And then we also have our, of course, emergency medical and health services programs. And so that's our EMTs, etc. So that, hopefully I'm going to let everybody do some introductions because we have, as you see on the agenda, our board meeting here today, starting after 10:30, and so we're going to be talking with all of us this morning. So we really want to focus on employers' needs, gaps, those issues. Our board is here to also hear from all of you what you are seeing as issues in your Lower Columbia area. So why don't we start with, yes, Lee, if you'll introduce yourself. Thoughts about what you would like to hear about.
Well, my name is Desiree Chung, and I actually work for DSHS State of Washington, and I oversee programs that work directly with juvenile justice. We work with juvenile courts, and the program that connects to this is called Employment and Education Training. And that is a program that is offered to juvenile courts. It's on the menu for evidence-based practices. in order to prepare our youth that are transitioning out of our juvenile justice system, both in employment and in education. So I'm very fortunate I was invited, but I think that we are going to be developing it here in Cowles County in partnership with the juvenile court here. It is currently in Pierce, King, and Spokane, and Island, Kitsap, and Snohomish. And what I'm looking at is how do we diversify the opportunities for our youth for work, and in educating our employers about youth that are potentially going to have criminal records, and seeing the value in how we see for rehabilitation, because we want them to be productive members of society and not graduate to our prison system. So that's the program that I oversee statewide. So I'm really looking to, this is very interesting to me, and really looking for information on how we can make connections so that our youth see that they have options.
Yes, hi, I'm Shannon Walkup. I'm from the Workforce Department, here representing our Workforce Education Director, and then my Workforce Manager. Right now, we actually do have quite a bit of our workforce education students within the criminal justice programs. A lot of times for them, it's a stepping stone that can potentially lead to being able to transfer. So within our programs, it's actually they're unable to pursue a transfer directly. Criminal justice, they do have some interest there, but it's also a way for them to potentially move forward beyond that too. And I'd like to see them it communicate to them more on the different career paths that can be available within criminal justice, so that we can really help them nail down what it is they can see themselves doing within that context. And so, yeah, we're definitely wanting to be here and learn more about some of these programs we offer. So try to help coach them.
That's good, yeah.
Career planning.
And I mentioned, and there are a number of other options around the criminal justice training area that are in the private sector. So Kelly and I just came from 2 days of meetings with all of the security-related safety and security companies, and many of them national, growing field, and incredible opportunities for people with some of the basic criminal justice training and skills to be able to go on into private security. And it's very professionalized now. It's technologically moving very quickly. And so these jobs are starting out at 60 and 70,000 up to the three-figure, and so that is again at 60% of the jobs that are out there now are private sector. And then enterprise risk management on the emergency management side is also all of our companies and organizations and governments all need to be able to do and develop. And John can chime in on this, but it's preparedness plans and really response plans for the organization. We call it continuity of operations plans. There's a number of different things, but that field is growing. And it, again, is in the private sector, and they're well-paid jobs, and they need technical skills, but they also need people skills. So.
Hi, I'm Alyssa Joyer. I'm with Workforce Southwest Washington. That's the Workforce Development Council for Clark, Cowles, and Tyson County. I focus on the smaller counties. I'm your local girl. And though these aren't technically our areas of focus, for our area we focus on manufacturing, healthcare, construction, and tech. And when we say tech, it's more occupation-based versus like the phone sector. So I'm just here to learn about opportunities, and so I can get this information out and learn what we need from employers. And, yeah, that's all.
Great.
Thank you. It's a fun drive. I came down from Tumwater area this morning. I'm Bob Lord. I'm currently the coordinator for the Fire Command Administration Program. I think I'm on the agenda a little later just to explain what we're doing with the bachelor's degree program. And other than that, retired fire service, and I coordinated the Homeland Security degree program for a couple of years. But I'll touch on that a little bit.
I'm Garrett Gilbert. I am Associate Dean for Technology, Applied Science, and Public Services, and Director of Health Sciences at Clackamas Community College down just outside of Portland. And part of what I oversee, an area that I oversee, includes fire science, apprenticeships, emergency management,
Very good.
advanced systems. And the director who directly oversees that group went through the flyer that you gave us and specifically pointed out a number of the things that she wants me to pay attention to. Top of the list is the BAS, but also learn a little bit more about the apprenticeships at OSH and in insurance. And just to hear, we're doing some train-the-trainer stuff around the CTE educators, so just hearing a little bit about that and the internship guide and Homeland Security.
Very good.
Quick question, are you involved with the Shemekia program also? Would you work with them or something? You're separate.
Well,
Better.
They're
Is that on the record?
I'm gonna tell him you said that.
Don't please. I just saw Marshall.
They have
But it's certainly one of the
awesome
things that we
training
really
center.
wanna do
They do.
is to reach out to our whole region and have those of us involved, both in Washington State and in Oregon, in these fields, talking to one another about what are we doing, what is the curriculum, how can we work together, how can we help one another and understand. Because our bottom line is to graduate these students and get them into good jobs. And we've got to be as helpful and consistent in education as we possibly can be to make sure employers get those good students.
Well, and I should say Shemekia's facility is amazing, and Marshall is amazing. So
Well, so is Black.
so
They're both kind of the best.
Yeah.
Nolan,
I am Nolan Wheeler. I'm the Vice President of Administration here at Lower Columbia College and want to welcome you all to our campus. I'm glad to hear the healthy competition goes on amongst the Oregon community colleges as they do in Washington, because if my counterpart Clark was here, we'd be dishing in on each other constantly. Myself and our safety and security folks who report to me, we created a mitigation list that we presented to our board of trustees, and they approved funding for that. And it was things as simple as putting the building name and room number above each door, so you can see above each door. So if you have to contact first responders, even if you're a visitor to the campus, you know where you are. And as expensive as these clocks, which are actually part of our emergency notification system, there are strobe lights to draw your attention. An emergency text will scroll across depending on what's going on, and then an audio message will come out the speaker. That system is actually tied to our phones, so you'll get the same message on your phones. Because we don't put those expensive clocks in every room, they're only in classrooms and conference rooms. But you'll get a message on your phone, so it'll pop up on your computer and all that stuff. And I was very proud to say, for those of you in the higher education world, we had our Year 7 accreditation visit last fall, and one of the commendations we received was our safety and security plan and efforts, and the lead accreditor, when he was presenting that to campus, actually teared up when he was talking about it. We were very passionate about the safety and security of our students, and it was good to see that recognized. I'm here for the networking in the morning, and I'll be here for lunch.
Very impressive.
That's what vice presidents do, right?
so, and I do have a thought for you to kind of think about. I see jobs constantly because our center has a really robust website, and we have what is called the Work Experience Marketplace. We have internships and apprenticeships listed and jobs from all of our pathways. Constantly, and we are seeing jobs from across the country for people to work in education. on campuses and be their emergency safety, security directors. These have become very good jobs, well-paid jobs. So one of the things that we have talked about, based on criminal justice and looking at combining some of the curriculum from emergency management, is also looking at doing maybe a concentration in campus security, safety, emergency management, where people can come in and get that added training, and with maybe they've got another degree or whatever, but they've been working in maybe security, and then be able to go on and be able to apply. So,
So we have kind of our structure right now, and it's very, it's dependent on the people in the job, right? So right now we have a occupational health and safety director. She reports to me, and then our security manager reports to her. That role has been flip-flopped over the years,
yeah,
depending on who the folks were. It works out very well for us, but her expertise is really in the occupational health and safety. In fact, she teaches a class here on campus and leads our safety plan writing, our lab safety. I think you'll see in other colleges, as I talk to my counterparts, a very they're not aware of the responsibility they have regarding hazardous waste and all that other stuff. So she's taken that on as a centralized effort. It's always been in the past that the faculty manage their labs. Well, faculty teach. They're not going to dispose of their hazardous waste. They're not going to really research green stuff. So we take that on. And then the other unique part about LCC is our security manager is actually our student conduct officer. So many colleges, student conduct is handled through student services. We handle it through our security manager, and then he reports to me. But appeals go to our student services vice president. So we have kind of a unique, but it works for us, and I think it's improved the safety of our students.
very good. Well, I know that Lorraine, who's also a member of board, thinks very highly of your director and your staff. So, and it sounds like you guys are. It's a really challenging area for all of our schools, and
Now, we've got a long way to go. As you get more into the effort, you find that you're just getting the tip of the iceberg, but we're on a safe path.
so thank you, and thank you for hosting us
So,
today.
thank you.
Lorraine.
Well, you just said who I am, so I'm good, right? So my name is Lorraine Churchill. I'm an emergency management coordinator here in Cowlitz County, and we're seated under the sheriff's office. I previously served overseas in New Zealand and Australia, and before that, I served under Homeland Security as a Portland liaison, serving the 5 metro counties in the 2 states. So I'm accustomed to stuff going on everywhere, right? And knitting it together. So my interest here is in listening and gathering information and then coordinating that information among our partners. So last year, again, thanks to LCC, they hosted us. We had the first of what we hope are an annual series of crisis communication workshops. And so we don't have a hotel here, darn it, or we would have it here again like this year. So I'm that's okay, you can build like a hotel, right? We'll do a hospitality thing. So
With state funding.
go for it, Lorraine, right. Yeah, so we're locking in some dates with Portland State University to bring back some international media experts and then bring the local discussion more into focus. And what's unique about this program is it focuses only on the crisis communication point of our disasters and preparedness. And it doesn't focus on what we did well. It focuses, because we've heard the term lesson learned, right? Did we learn it? So we're changing that dialogue to lessons identified. And what these folks do is they're like, okay, this went wrong. And in this conference setting, here were our challenges. What do you as members of our discussion think we could have done differently? And so it involves everyone into pooling their talent and energy towards improving the process. And it's just phenomenal. So I hope you all will stay in touch.
What, August, maybe of being able to. do
August 12th, but I'm waiting for one confirmation before I lock it.
So, and it'll
The week of August 12th.
unfortunately be in, or fortunately for Oregon, it will be in Portland, right?
Well, but that's a hub, right? So
Yeah.
people could fly in or drive in, and we're working on some very interesting activities to go along with it. So it will not be a normal conference, that's all I'll tell you.
When you're this far south of the state, we consider Portland part of it.
No, I know it.
When there's out-of-state travel bans, I'm not going to Seattle, that's why it's far.
We're gonna check your driver's license and just make sure where you're from.
That's free shopping.
Thank you, ma'am. Deb. I'm Deb Muller from Muller Consulting. I'm also a senior fellow at Center for Excellence. And I spent about 8 years in the state office in Oregon with community colleges and workforce development. So those things all kind of come together. I worked for Oregon Office of Emergency Management. And I spend entirely too much time thinking about the Cascadia earthquake.
Is there something else to think about?
That's what I'm starting to wonder.
What?
So our center has a number of what we call senior fellows who have, they are experts in their fields, and they have a diverse, we have a diverse number of fields that we are at our disposal, so that when we're doing projects or we're looking at issues or we're developing curriculum, we have this very, very wonderful group of people who have volunteered their time and talent. Anita, I don't know if you want to say any more about introductions, but please do.
Just in case someone else came in, I'm in Newport, I'm criminal justice faculty, the only full-time criminal justice faculty here. We do have a couple of very good adjuncts, fortunately, who actually work in the field. And so they are bringing expertise in some of the classes that they teach, but that I do not have any experience in those areas. So we are in the middle, fortunately, thank you very much, for Centers of Excellence for Criminal Justice. We are in the middle of revamping our Protect degree. As I mentioned earlier, next Wednesday I'm going to curriculum. For the first step, we will be adding the juvenile justice class. Fortunately for us, Desiree is one of our advisory board members, and so I'm hoping to work very closely with her in developing the curriculum, as well as the juvenile justice class in particular. So
Very good.
so at this point, I will be the person teaching that until we can fully expand our program. But I'm very excited. We hopefully are now bringing our program into the 20th century and then into the 21st century for us to be able to meet the needs of our students so that they can go forward.